Hey everyone, good afternoon. Darrell here from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center, and we are about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. Today has been cooler, today has been wetter, it's even been breezy at times, but when we look outside, sometimes we get views like these. Look at that. We have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for some of us. Other parts of Central Oregon, we have showers rolling through the high desert. Some of the Oregon Hazard Lab cameras are focused in on some smoke plumes from some prescribed burns, and we're getting even deeper into an active weather pattern. So we're going to take some time just to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. Look at the changes that we've started to see today across Central Oregon, the changes that are expected through this weekend, and how it's really going to impact us. So let's get it started with that haze, that smoke across Central Oregon. Earlier today, we had periods of just poor air quality. At one point, the Oregon Hazards, not the Oregon Hazards Lab, but the DEQ, the Department of Environmental Quality, had pockets of red, so pockets of unhealthy air quality. As of right now, it's not that bad at all. There is some variance in wind direction, and winds are a little breezy at times, but we do have good air quality across Central Oregon. Now, going forward, snow levels are going to be falling as our next back-to-back systems move into the Pacific Northwest. However, we're only looking at limited impacts through the passes. One thing we are focused on is the potential of thunderstorm activity, not just tonight, but the next couple of days. So as of right now, when we look to the higher elevations, we have a lot more cloud cover, some shadows on the roads, but we don't, and we also have damp roads as well. And now we don't see any snow falling yet, but that is going to be changing through the Cascades. In our lower elevations, some of the roads are wet, some of us just catching some sprinkles, others showers and some thunderstorms are rolling through the high desert. So when we go ahead and look at satellite and radar, we can see that there is some rain through the Cascades, and really in our highest elevations, it's only going to be rain through the evening hours and overnight hours tonight through most of Saturday. By late Saturday, that's when we start to see some mountain snow. And there are a handful of thunderstorms that have been impacting us. One of those just moved south of Bend and into the just outside of Alfalfa before it really fizzled out. But as of right now, that one's really wrapping up. And here through the next couple of days, more thunderstorms are expected. But there is a cell capable of producing lightning. In fact, in the last 30 minutes, 2 lightning strikes around Sun River and Three Rivers. Also to the east of La Pine, closer to the Newberry Caldera, getting some lightning there, as well as up at Pine Mountain. And there's a cluster of thunderstorms that just rolled through Hampton. That's actually why I didn't show the Hampton camera, because you could not actually see much. So even when we go ahead and just look at that camera, let me go ahead and pull it up for you, because it's actually pretty interesting, because we have some of those thunderstorms rolling through. Now, currently that Hampton camera does not show much. It's low visibility because of that thunderstorm that's just rolling through the area. Now, when we look at the bigger pictures, there are some thunderstorms from just outside of Portland in Oregon City. Just outside of, look at that, Molalla, just to the east of that in Lyons. And all the way down the valley, we have some scattered thunderstorms, really getting all the way down into southwestern and south central Oregon. Now, a couple of these cells have prompted the National Weather Service to issue a series of severe thunderstorm warnings. There are not any severe thunderstorm warnings in effect as of right now, but it's something we're continuing to track, especially when you start to see some of these bulkier thunderstorm cells, like the one that's moving into Malheur County as of right now. Not rolling our way, but it's something we're continuing to track. And even throughout south central Oregon, everything's moving from the south to the north. These thunderstorms are going to be impacting parts of the high desert at different times. Even right now around Crescent, there is one thunderstorm cell that's moving to the north and the northwest a little bit. But ultimately, as of right now, the bulk of the shower and thunderstorm activity is continuing to impact us. We are not done yet. And if you use our news app, if you click over to the weather page, which if you're looking at the very bottom of it, it's a second button, looks like a little globe, and then at the top of that weather page there's a series of tabs. If you click on the radar one, you have an interactive radar and GIFs that look very similar to what I'm showing you right here, because they come from this system. Every 5 minutes they update. But we are continuing to track some thunderstorm activity, and just in the last 12 hours we've had 190 lightning strikes in and around Central Oregon. This also does include what's happening just a little further to our south as well. And when we look at the entire state, at the last 12 hours, it is mostly, look at that, just shy of 2,000 lightning strikes across the state and a little bit into Idaho. And so there is a risk of thunderstorm activity today with a very low, a marginal risk of severe weather through the valley and in southeastern Oregon. So where that one cell was moving through into Malheur County, that's where there is a risk of some severe weather. But going forward through the day tomorrow, which shows that we're not done with this, because Saturday at a glance shows that we start off with some wintry mix, then PM showers and thunderstorms and a little bit of mountain snow. So ultimately, as we go forward through this weekend, we are still expecting back-to-back systems. Our weekend planner shows off and on showers continue with periods of clearing. And temperatures are going to be falling. Instead of 60s today, we're looking at 50s with some 60s tomorrow. And then by Sunday, it's going to be cooler, wetter, and breezy at times, still holding on to a chance of some thunderstorms. Through the day, Sunday, it's going to be a little further to the east. But when we look at Saturday, the potential for thunderstorm activities for the entire Pacific Northwest, except for areas west of the Washington Cascades. Then fast forward to Sunday, parts of Central Oregon are carrying that chance of thunderstorm activity. I think it's really just going to be through eastern Oregon and getting into Idaho. So there is still a chance of some lightning, and we've been getting these thunderstorms that have been really scattered, maybe even isolated through the day today. And it's actually because of a 1-2 punch. We have two different systems that we're tracking. The first one is a low pressure that moved up from the Four Corners region. It's continued to work its way to the north. The second low is still way out over the Pacific Ocean, and that low is going to be the one that actually rolls in tomorrow, continuing to bring even more changes to our weather pattern. Even when we look at water vapor imagery, we do have a huge plume of moisture that's just digging into the Pacific Northwest. Add in the unseasonably warm temperatures, that raises our dew points enough to where it's almost like thunderstorm fuel. That kind of atmosphere really helps to shape a situation where thunderstorms are going to be possible. So it is something we're continuing to track, but for the most part, we are not done yet. And I did want to mention that it's not just that this weather that a lot of people are watching, because the Artemis splashdown happens at like 6 minutes from when this video was recorded, and so a lot of people are curious about that. Winds have been like 6 miles per hour. There's some clouds, no precipitation, and no lightning just off the coast of San Diego. And when it comes to wave heights in that area, 4 to 5 feet. So that is, we're talking gorgeous conditions for the splashdown. Now, let's get back to our forecast, because we are continuing to track a few more things that are going to be changing here during the next couple of days. We still have this active pattern, so some thunderstorms are even expected through the rest of this afternoon and evening. I'm going to redo that one, and we're going to look at it again. So by 5 to 7 p.m., some thunderstorms are still possible, even until about 11. Nothing severe in Central Oregon, but some lightning is going to be possible. And then by Saturday, scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms by the afternoon, getting into the evening again, and there's going to be periods of clearing. Then by Sunday, a lot of that activity shifts over to the eastern side of the state, and we are still looking at showers, maybe even a little bit of wintry mix, but most of the thunderstorm potential could be over Wheeler and Grant County, maybe eastern Crook County as well, but for the most part, way off to our east. We're talking Grant, Baker County, Malheur County, Harney County, and everything to the north of those areas. Now, when it comes to relative humidity, we got some moderate conditions. It has been dry, so the surface contours, those colors you see show dry colors, but because of the rain that's been pushing through, that's come up. Now, in the last 24 hours, we topped out in the 60s with a few 50s on the map. This is already a big dip in our temperatures, and it did get up to 75 in Warm Springs. Right now, it's 73 in Warm Springs, 60s for most, and 57 in Sun River. This represents a 1 to 12 degree drop in temperatures through the day. As of right now, it's about 1 to 9 degrees cooler. Now, our temperature trend shows that tonight, similarly, it's going to be cool. Some spots getting chilly. We're talking 30s and 40s for lows. Then by tomorrow, 50s for highs. And more precipitation is expected, but even a little bit of mountain snow. Look at that, Cascades. And Ochoco's catching a little bit of snow too. Not enough to really get excited about, but later next week that changes too. And that's because of another system rolling through starting late Tuesday through Wednesday night. But between now and then, we still have a chance of some thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. Wetter conditions cooling, bringing us back below average for this time of the year. And going forward past that, we are looking at some roller coaster temperatures, but for the most part, it's just going to be 50s, some 40s even possible, staying out of the 60s until we get to next week, or really until we get to next weekend. So your forecast model, the high resolution one, is one that I already showed you. This is the one we use on air. It shows that chance of some PM thunderstorms through Saturday, but more showers than anything. By Sunday, a lot of the activity further off to the east. This is where that other one stopped. A little bit of mountain snow going into Monday, and a few rain and snow showers linger into the beginning of next week, but then some in and out clouds. By Tuesday, we turn our attention to this next cold front. And in order to see that next cold front, we actually have to look at a long-range forecast model. So we're going to pull up the GFS. And it shows that by Tuesday, that cold front starts to come in by Tuesday afternoon, starting to get mountain snow. And then on the backside of that cold front, some snow showers in the lower elevations, but it's not done. More moisture continues to impact us through Wednesday night. And then by Thursday, we get our clearing. By Friday, more sunshine is expected and temperatures start to rebound. So when it comes to snow totals in the Cascades, we are looking at maybe getting 4+ inches in the mountains. Most of that is going to be well above 5,200 feet. I'd say, 5,000 feet. But some slick roads are going to be possible. And then when we go ahead and look past that, by Friday at 7 a.m., next Friday at 7 a.m., that's where we're looking at a lot more snow in the Cascades. Now, it's still a little too far out to put numbers on this, but that could even equal some slick roads in our lower elevations. Meanwhile, when we look at winds today, not too bad at all. Winds a little breezy, those gusts up to 22 miles per hour. And Pine Mountain, that's where one of those thunderstorms is rolling by. Now, when it comes to actual wind speeds, it all depends on where these thunderstorms are with who's getting the stronger winds. And so it is going to be breezy at times, even gusty at times. This continues through Saturday and Sunday. Winds out of the south swinging around to the northwest each day. Stronger winds are expected. Sunday could get gusty at times, but for tonight, expect 40s and 30s. Some lightning activity fizzles out, and then off and on showers, more like sprinkles, are expected through the rest of the night with periods of clearing. By Saturday, more rain, cooler conditions, and some thunderstorms in the planner. And so this PM thunderstorm chance stays with us through Saturday through Sunday. By Monday, we catch our clearing, and it's going to be chilly. Tuesday, temperatures rebound. That next system rolls in, even bringing some snow showers to the lower elevations. Winds get gusty at times, and it gets even more chilly Wednesday, but by Thursday and Friday, we turn it right around, start to warm back up, and more sunshine is expected. So your weekend headlines for this Friday, April the 10th, more rain, some thunderstorms, a cooling trend sets up, and winds will be breezy at times, and falling snow levels are expected with some slick passes. So one more look at it. Here is your satellite and radar, and it actually shows that there have been some thunderstorms rolling into the high desert, and even more are on the way. When we look a little further to the south, we have that potential of more thunderstorms rolling in to central Oregon. And it's not just where we're looking at some thunderstorms that are pushing through tonight. The next couple of days bring that same chance. So already about 200 lightning strikes just in and around central Oregon. So we are not quite done with this. We still have more on the way, and these thunderstorms could be staying with us into this evening. That's the latest in weather for now. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. Well, the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. See you then.